And we just heard the whistle that the range is now reopened. The range is reopened for Zero. Thanks for everybody's patience as we repaper. And Zero is now open for our Group 2 of U13, U15, and Master athletes.
There is a very special joie de vivre, love of life that you see and experience with the people here in Fort Kent.
It's a wonderful place because of the energy of the people and the can-do attitude of the people and the beautiful seasons.
The pace is slower here, the area is very safe, and as my children often remind me, they're very happy to have grown up here.
Fort Kent has been a place that I've always called home, and when my husband had first come up here for the first time, he said this was the first moment that he knew what the word home meant because of how he felt when he came here.
I don't think community is a strong enough word to describe Fort Kent. I really feel like it's a family. It's just a great place to grow up.
I've had an opportunity to live in many different places, and one of the things that is most unique here is the way that the community comes together.
The people are what make Fort Kent. They are always friendly and very helpful, and it's like being part of a big family here.
I would say people up here are looking out for each other. It's not just that they're friendly, they'll wave to you or something like that, but people are genuinely interested in making sure that everybody in the community is doing well.
Acadian culture is warm, welcoming, and that's kind of what makes the area special.
Fort Kent's a community that provides so much opportunity for us. There's not too many places that you can go to where you can ski, you can golf, you can go to another country within 2 minutes.
For people who are active in the outdoors, this is your Mecca. This is the paradise for you. The winters are awesome here in Fort Kent.
There's lots to do if you find yourself adventurous, whether you do skiing or snowmobiling, the Can-Am dog sled races. There's plenty to find to do in the winter months.
Go out skiing all day or snowmobiling all day, and then you go to one of the local bars. Some time to relax and warm up by the fire.
Snowmobiling is a big part of our winter industry, but all these snowmobile trails are converted to ATV trails in the summer, so there's hundreds, if not thousands of miles here in northern Maine. It's a lot of fun.
Summers in Fort Kent are amazing. There's so many resources and lakes and rivers all around us. Opportunities to go hiking, to go boating, to go fishing. There's just a nature's wonderland in our backyard, and we're very lucky to have that.
My favorite season is actually the fall season, just because of the colors and how things change so drastically from the beautiful summer to the white winter.
It's just very vibrant and beautiful. There's a lot to do. The food of that time of the year is a lot of fun to eat as well. The colors up here during that time of the year are just magnificent. And I had somebody describe it to me the other day, saying it was like a kaleidoscope of colors, and it truly is. It's just beautiful.
Cherish it while you're a part of it. That's really what it's all about. Fort Kent is a very special place. Great place to grow up, great place to raise a family, great place to run a business. It's everything that you would want.
It is 9:15, which means we are 15 minutes away from the posted start time of 9:30. So we ask those first athletes in the IBU, men and women, begin making their way into the start area to get chipped. Our officials are there and set to go. So we got those first groups heading into the start area and pick up your chips as we sort of roll and we closing down, zeroing shortly. Give you those updates as we get set for the first start of the morning, the final day of competition here in Fort Kent Outdoor Center for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. So just getting word, there'll be rifle marking for the athletes who are racking their rifles, and that is open right now. So those athletes who are racking their rifles, please go and have your rifles marked at the racks. And we're coming up on 10 minutes to start for the first relay, which will be the IBU group. So the IBU men, women, and mixed teams will be heading out. We've got looks like we got about a couple dozen or so teams. That will be that first start at 9:30. The second start will be at 10:30 this morning with the U17, 13, and 15 athletes, and then the Masters going off at 11 o'clock. Again, all athletes will be skiing the same 1.5-kilometer loop today. Everybody completing that same distance, and they will also be skiing in the shorter 75-meter penalty lap. But in the relay format, there is the addition our athletes will be carrying extra bullets. Word is they'll have 3 extra bullets that they can hand load for any misses that they have on the range to so that they can move on and potentially catch up in those any missed targets and move on past the penalty loop and on the course on their next lap. So each athlete skiing 3 laps, 4.5 kilometers this morning, as we are now 10 minutes to start, 10 minutes to the start for the relay. So I'd like to have those IBU athletes begin making their way in and getting their chips so we get everybody lined up, as it will be a mass start format heading off here at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center at 9:30, just under 10 minutes from now. And so we are now about 6 minutes away from the start. So we'd ask if our teams begin lining up in the start line, as we have 20 teams in this IBU group. And as we look out, we have wearing bib number 11 will be the County Girls, being Sarah Bowler will be heading out first on that team. As we look in the bib order, bib 21, Sean Doherty be the leadoff skier for Team 1. This is based off the bibs that we have been, the order we were given. Some of the teams may have mixed this up, but this is the order that the official order we have. With Travis Cooper will be leading off the lads in bib 31. Wearing bib number 41 will be the Men of America, with Cervenka leading off and Eli Nielsen leading off for the National Guard team wearing bib number 51. Bearing 61 will be Aiden Rip from the team of Paul Smith's College. And then in the IBU men as well, bib number 71 will be Euro Kasilev for the Casper Mountain Biathlon +1 team. And then Team 2 in the IBU women's category, number 81 will be Kaisa Bosek. The bib number 91 from Team 3 is another IBU men's group with Les Dealers, bib number Team 3. And then the high velocity gals, bibs 101, Virginia Cobb will be leading off. And as we look out, we are now at 25 minutes. We're 25 minutes past the hour and 5 minutes from the start. So at this time, if we could have everybody look towards our flag to the right, from the stadium, looking to the right-hand side of the 10th Mountain Lodge for the playing of our national anthem. And we are now 3 minutes away from the start for the first groups heading out on the relay. Again, the first group will be the IBU athletes of the IBU men and women, along with a number of mixed teams. As we look down the start list, bib number 111. And our athletes are getting their instructions from our race officials as they line everybody up. So we get set for the posted start at 9:30. We are 1 minute from that start, but all timing comes down to our officials on the start line. And 1 minute from our officials. And we are underway. The first start of the last day of competition is on course, the relay. some 20 teams heading out on the 1.5 kilometer loop here at Fort Kent. They'll be coming in twice for shooting for each of the teammates. These teams made up of 3 athletes per team, so each shooting twice. So 4.5 kilometers, doing that math, we're somewhere around 12 and a bit kilometers for these skiers today here on course at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. And we have the lead packer going up David's Desire. So pretty tight still there are a couple skiers off the front with a chase group of about 6 or so getting up over David's Desire as they head into the stadium. And we'll have the first bout of shooting for the relay. So we have this group of 3 making the turn with a little bit of gap on the rest of the field, where we have Inrip from Paul Smith's College leading the way, but on the outside we have bib number Maxime Germain, number 44, in the red, white, and blue colors of the national team, leading this pack of 3, with Jake Brown there in the between the other 2. So that's our 1, 2, 3 as they come into the range. Again, this time coming in, they'll be shooting from the prone position, after which they will, the next time through, standing, and then they'll pass off to their teammates. These teams will be made up of 3 athletes in the IBU men's and women's group, as Deidre Irwin makes her way in front of the timing building and into the stadium, leading the women's relays. So it is going to be fast today. It's some fast skiing, some beautiful conditions. Looking out the range, just a little bit of a breeze there, but nothing like we've been experiencing all week. Today, the best day of racing, and what a glorious thing for having the relay, which in many ways just a fun way to cap off a fantastic weekend of skiing. So in Sean Doherty is sitting in at position 1 with 2 misses, but heading out quickly there. Or I missed it. Bib number at position 4, shooting clean. I missed that bib number, and that was Sean Doherty and Bjorn Vestervelt just behind him, the skier from the University of Vermont, both shooting clean, and so they are. And Travis Cooper behind them. So those 3 skiers just showing how important shooting clean is, as we have the leading skier coming into the stadium now doing a penalty lap. He reloaded, still has 2 misses, so he's going to have 2 times during the lap for Maxim Germain. So it looks like Deidre Irwin is also clean as she heads out of the stadium. And again, she is the leader on the women's group. We've got 3 categories out on the field today. We've got the mixed, we've got the men's and the women's. We're going to do our best to keep you updated on those leaders, especially on the men's and women's side of the field. But again, as we coming through the first bout, it is Irwin leading her team, leading the way on the women's IBU time, and Irwin's looking through here, see if she's got one of those fun names for her team here, and Test. Is that better for voice? All right, get a little voice check every day. With the weather a little different out there on the range from the voice, so apologies. As again, Deidre Irwin leading the way in the IBU women's group for her team leading off. And so we'll wait. Again, these teams doing 3 groups. This group's doing 3 laps each. Irwin skiing on the Gard Norway, skiing with 2 of our Norwegian guests on her team, with Tuva Klett Andresen and Zoe May Noble being the anchor on that Gard Norway teams with the bibs 460s. So each bibs are those bibs with the last number, with the last number indicates which one they're going out within the relay, with the ones being the first lap, the first group, first wave, 2s going out second, and the anchor legs with the trailing 3 on their bib. So next time through, the athletes will be coming and shooting from the standing position, and these athletes will then have 1 lap to go before they'll come into the tag zone, and their teammate will be heading out on course. So we have our leaders making their way into the stadium. We have Sean Doherty leading Bjorn Vestervelt, and then just behind them, Jake Brown. They've got a 10-second gap on Brown as they come into the stadium. Again, this time the athletes will be shooting from the standing position as they make the turn into the stadium here, with Sean Doherty leading the way from Team 1. Westervelt skiing for his team, Team 5, as Travis Cooper from the lads comes in. We're in bib number 31. And bib 41 as Veshik Cervenka skiing for Team Men of America. And here comes Luke Brown just behind Vashek as our leaders make their way into the range. Again, these skiers will be shooting from the standing position. And Deidre Irwin now in the stadium, just behind Maxim Germain here in front of the timing building and coming over that small little rise. Again, our athletes are leaders in positions 8 through 12 right now, lined up in there, so the order in which they entered the stadium. And Doherty with one miss and reloading, but going out again, I believe, is now clean. Westervelt having to reload. Again, these athletes carrying 3 extra bullets. And Westervelt getting that last target, and he is out. And Jake Brown and Travis Cooper all clean. A couple of them having to reload, but they both being able to do so, being able to go out and not having to go through that penalty lap. So it's Sean Doherty with a bit of a break now on the chase group of 3. So team 1 there is Luke Brown now exiting the range, shooting clean. So when next time these athletes come back in around the stadium, they will be handing off to their teammates as we get set for the second round of here at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center for today's relay. Again, Sean Doherty was the leader, and he'll be passing off to his teammate Logan Solander. And behind them, he had the chase group, which including Bjorn Westervelt, his teammate Adele Pritchard going out second, one of the mixed teams, and just getting an update that our leader on the women's side is coming out clean, Deidre Irwin from the Gard Norway. She skis past the penalty loop and out for another 1.5 kilometer lap here. Well, she'll be finishing up her 4.5 kilometers of skiing. As Nate Livengood makes his way out of the stadium. Nate always easily recognizable with that sort of multicolored polka dot hat that he's been wearing since middle school. I hope he bought about 30 of those things for the rest of his career. So as the rest of the field begin making their way in, a couple skiers on the penalty lap. And we'll keep an eye out on David's Desire for our leaders and for them to come up and into the stadium, at which time they will be making the loop through and passing off to their teammates. So our leaders are just going up David's Desire as we have Sean Doherty and Jake Brown skiing together as a couple of skiers there chasing them down. Bjorn Westervelt, I believe, in that group of 2, and Travis Cooper. And then Luke Brown as well. So those are our top 5 now making their way into the stadium, our leaders. Sean Doherty leading the way here into the stadium. Again, this time coming through, they'll be handing off to their teammates. So the tag zone getting pretty busy in here as our athletes now going on. They will bypass the range and head out for a complete lap. So next time through, these skiers will be coming in. They'll be shooting from the prone position. Again, these teams will be teams made of 3 athletes. And as they do that, they will each shooting prone and standing 2 times in the stadium. And again, here, mixed up within these IBU classes are some of the youth as well, along with the senior category. So as we can see, some of the younger skiers going out in the second group. As Team 7, Yuri Vasileshev comes in and will be passing off to Jack Harbinson, the Casper Mountain Biathlon group. And Eli Nielsen from National Guard will be passing off to Wyatt Stevenson. And Deidre Irwin coming in, skiing for the Guard Norway team, passing off to Tuva Klett Andresen, one of the Norwegian guests. And so great having the Norwegians here. Last night at the awards banquet, them making a very nice presentation to Carl Turio, and thanks to everybody here. And what an amazing group they have here in Fort Kent to put together these events, hosting not just national championships, but some past World Cups and many state, high school, and regional championships between U16s and Eastern High School championships over the years. Just a great facility. And what a fantastic group of volunteers. An amazing support from the whole Fort Kent community for biathlon and Nordic skiing here in at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. So just to recap, we have completed most of the athletes. We still have a couple of the first leg skiers coming in to pass off to their teammates, as bib 17 coming in as well. And that is Taylor Carlson will be passing off to Lily Sotheby, one of the mixed groups, as bib 11, Tim Cunningham coming in will be passing off to Isaac Fellows, and this is called Team 4, and bib 9, as Fellows Dealer, is passing off to Justin Tuzende as Team 3 here, as one of the IBU men's teams. So looking out, it was Sean Doherty was first to hand off to his teammate Logan Solander, and then the other leading group we had on that IBU men's side was Jake Brown, and Brown was in a mixed team as he passed off to Amelia Terone. So I believe that is the leader on the mixed side of things, and the leader on the men's is Team 1. And leading the women's side is Team Guard Norway. Leadoff skier there was being Deidre Irwin. Irwin taking both events here this weekend and have a fantastic season on the IBU World Cup this year. So so great having so many of the national team athletes coming here for the nationals here at Fort Kent. As we all know, it definitely takes some effort to get to Fort Kent, but it is always worth it. And so glad so many people have journeyed up to here to see some of the best biathletes in the country and the world competing here at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. Today, Relay Day. We're in the midst of the IBU event. We followed at 10:30 as we're about 40 minutes away from that start when we have the U17, 13, and 15 skiers. And then 11 o'clock, we'll be finishing out the starts here for the weekend with the Masters Relay. And Virginia Cobb coming in. Cobb will be handing off to Hannah Chipman of the High Velocity Gals. And here comes race leader Logan Sillander, as this is his first time into the range, so he'll be shooting from the prone position. Tristan Thrasher on his way in. Thrasher skiing for Men of America, as Vasek Cervenka was led off there with Team 3 of the lads, as Gil Coverless coming in, bib number 3-2, Travis Cooper leading off for that team. So we've got the top 3 teams on that side. Now we bib number 1-6, Team 16 coming in. And as well, Team 14, Luke, as Bauman Sotheby of Team 7. Luke Brown had led off on that team, as Ren Soule, bib number 44, now coming in of the Alaskans squad. So looking out at the range, looks our leaders heading in for one, well, I'm not sure how many laps on the 2 laps I'm getting from our, again, everything unofficial out from here from the announcing booth. It is the responsibility of the athletes to know how many misses they've had and go around the course. And a note to any of the rack-to-rack athletes, the rifle marking has been moved to the finish area. The rifle marking has moved to the finish area, so any athletes from rack-to-rack who have not had their rifles marked, please head to the finish area. And just getting up, Tristan Thrasher clean. First time through the stadium. So Thrasher, some good shooting there for the Men of America, as Team 45 now coming into the stadium. And that is the team of the Maniacs, Jenna Stainkin coming in, Nate Livengood being the leadoff on for that team. And Greg Pattison coming in for the tag. And Logan Solander now in the stadium, bib number Team 2, as he makes his way in front of the timing building. And Tristan Thrasher now making the turn in. So we're looking about 5 seconds or so between those two athletes after their first bout of shooting. So they're coming, this their second bout. This time they'll be shooting from the standing position. And just each of the athletes carrying 3 extra bullets per bout. So anytime they have a miss, they then need to hand load each of those until they've completed either knocking down all the targets or finish their bullets. And at which time they either get to the range is their targets are clean and they bypass the penalty lap, or if there's any targets left, they need to go in there and ski those loops. So our first skiers now standing in the standing position at position 17 and 18 on the range. Those are the 2 leaders in the IBU men's category. And Thrasher is clean. That is our race leader, as Solander he's had to hand load for a couple of his shots. He still has 2 targets up, but that is our race leader, Solander, with now heading out on his final lap. Next time in, he'll be handing off to Elias Watson as the very creative name Team 1 heading out. That's Logan Solander, but I guess they knew something. They're in the lead. They're the first skiers out. So Thrasher was clean. He's leading the way there, the Men of America. When next time in, he'll be passing off to Tor Shepard of Team 4, as we have our next position, the 3rd through, I think, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Again, we have some mixed teams in here amongst our leaders. But again, it's the Men of America in the lead with Logan's, the Team 1 of Doherty Solander, and they'll be handing off to Elias Watson next time into the stadium. So we have Jenna Stinkin now coming into the stadium, the Team Maniacs, bib Team 45 of Living Good Staken and Michaud, the Maniacs. And Paul Smith's college team, that Diego Schillaci, heading out for a couple of penalty loops as he heads into the penalty loop. As Luke Brown's team, it's Bowen Sotheby, Team 7 coming in, Team 14. As Dulcie Tanguay now coming in of the County Girls. Sarah Bowler was the lead-off skier, as Tanguay now coming in. As again, these athletes all doing 3 laps, 2 bouts of shooting. First time in prone, standing the second time through, and then they come through and hand off to their teammates. Teams of 3, each skier doing 4.5 kilometers. So 13.5 kilometers in total amongst each of the teams. As Rowan Tanguay Tanguay makes her way through. Or actually, that's Amelia Cherone, bib number 13 of Team 6. And race leader Tristan Thrasher, the Men of America, having shot clean last time in the stadium. He'll be coming in and passing off to his teammate, Tor Shepard. Team 4 making his way around, and here he is in the stadium. Thrasher with two very strong bouts of shooting, as he'll be, again, tagging off to the anchor leg, Tor Shepard. We have Isaac Fellows coming in from Team 11. And Hannah Chipman of the High Velocity Girls, Team 10. We should keep an eye out for is coming around into the stadium. And here's Dulcie Tanguay of the County Girls now in the stadium. Team wearing bib 1-2. Tilly Lang coming in, bib number 15 from Team 8. Jackie Garceau was the leadoff. Again, these skiers coming through, keeping an eye out for our leaders as Team 2 now coming into the stadium. Team 2, this is Logan Solander. Sean Doherty with the leadoff as Solander makes his way back into the stadium. And he'll be passing off to his teammate, Elias Watson, bib 2-3, as Team 8 now coming into the tag zone area. And that's Abigail Van Dorn. So Van Dorn coming in for another bout of shooting. Diego Salachi coming in and tagging off to Brady Miller from the team Paul Smith's College. Fantastic having so many collegiate athletes here joining us this weekend for the first ever Collegiate National Championship, where we awarded our national champions as March Madness rolls on. We had our own little March Madness here at Fort Kent with the U.S. Collegiate Championships for Biathlon. Lily Sotheby heading in from Team 11, one of the mixed, skiing in the mixed category. And here comes Team 4, the Men of America. Tor Shepard heading in just in front of the timing building, heading for his first bout of shooting. And here he is right in front of the timing building now, just over that quick rise before taking a little bit of a rest and getting that heart rate down for the first bout of shooting. Again, these skiers shooting prone. The second time through will be shooting from the standing position, and then they'll be heading for home, as this is the anchor leg, as the last teams, or it's the last leg of 3 legs, teams made of 3, heading in, skiing a total of 13.5 kilometers between all of them, each skiing 3.5K here. As our race leader, that's Tor Shepard, lying down at the first position on the range. And Shepard is fast and clean as he exits the range and heads straight for the trails for his lap 2. Next time in, he'll be shooting from the standing position. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is our race leaders as Shepard heads out for another lap here. 2 to go. High velocity girls heading out. Grace Castengay, bib number, that's team 10. As team 11, Althea Veve will be next to go for team 11, and Liam Weil for team 12, as those teams come in, and I believe heading into the tag zone for their teammates. And team 6, Brady Miller from the Paul Smith's College coming through. Elias Watson, currently in second place in the IBU men's category from Team 1, coming in. He'll be shooting at the second position on the range. And Brady Miller of Paul Smith College at .3. So Elias was 1 reload. He was our sharpshooter of the week. Only 2 misses over the first 2 days of very challenging shooting. An unbelievable shot as he heads out, bypassing the range. As again, the Paul Smith's Brady Miller, currently that's our 3rd place in the IBU men, and shooting at position 3. Miller with 1 miss and reloading at point 3. And Thor Shepard now coming in to the stadium. He's at point 17, and that is from Team Men of America, and they're leading the IBU men's group. So this is the race leader, again, now shooting from the standing position at point 17. And clean for Shepard. As he heads out, it is the Bell lap. That is our team leader. He's got 1 lap to go, 1.5 kilometers. Next time in the stadium, he'll be headed for the finish line and capturing a national champion. It will be our relay national champions for this weekend of competition. Welcome everybody to the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships here at Fort Kent and the Fort Kent Outdoor Center, and a glorious day for biathlon. Just clear skies, very little wind, certainly lots of snow last night. I mean, early, about a month ago, if someone had told you this is what we'd be looking at here, I'm not sure if we'd believe you. But what a beautiful day for biathlon and exquisite conditions for racing. Zoe May Noble from Team Gard Norway coming through. Team 10 would be Grace Constangay from the High Velocity Gals. We believe unofficially that is the second place position. Zoe May Noble coming through from Gard Norway onto the range. I believe that is the leaders on the women's side. As we look to have two bib number 45, team 45 there as well, Quinn Michaud of the Maniacs. So it looks very close between the Maniacs and Gard Norway. I believe that actually might be 1-2 on the women's side, as Castangay now comes in as well at point 6, which would be third on 1, 2, 3 from the women's side are now on the range. But correction that the Maniacs is a mixed team. So on the women's side, that would be with Zoe Noble leading the way. That Gard Norway 1 and 2 being Grace Castangay's team, the High Velocity Gals. So both those athletes in the range as Zoe May Noble leads with Castangay. Castangay now heading out in the lead and clean. So coming down to the shooting here, as on the women's side, as that is their first time through. They'll have to come back again, and they'll be back again for a second bout standing. And our second place team, Elias Watson, at .7 team, skiing for Team 1. That's currently second place. As Bib 1 now coming through the county girls. This is Rowan Tanguay coming through. Rowan Tanguay from the county girls. And I bet an update that Sarah Bollier switching their bibs. We had her leading off in the official start, but that's Bollier now coming through for the county girls. Brady Miller from the Paul Smith's College now coming into the stadium. I believe unofficially that might be third in the men's race, as we have them coming in skiing, shooting, standing. And here, looking out, bib 4, Tor Shepard shooting fast and clean. The men of America getting a high five coming to the finish line. And Shepard, the men of America, coming through as our unofficial lead winners today in the U.S. Biathlon National Championships IBU Relay. So that is the first team in. And looking at the clock, we're coming up on 10:20, which means we are 10 minutes away from the posted start time for the U17, 13, and 15 athletes. So those skiers should begin making their way safely into the stadium area and pick up their chips, as we are 10 minutes away from that start. Team 7 now coming in, Vlad Kasputin from Casper Mountain Biathlon +1. And again, we're going by the bib order we were given posted, so some of these teams mixing those up. So apologies if I might have mixed up some of the names with the actual athlete in the bib, but just going by with what we have here. And we have third place, it looks like, at points 19 and 20 in the men's race. And Caleb Hunter clean and heading out, and he'll be headed for the finish. So that is unofficially third place right there, as the Paul Smith's Brady Miller just leading out now. So now it's coming down to the skiing, and we put a clock on those two athletes. It's about 15 seconds between those two as they leave the stadium, as the Paul Smith's skier Brady Miller getting some encouragement from his teammates as he goes trying to hunt down the that leader, Caleb Hunter. And as we look at the far end of the stadium, keeping our eyes peeled, keeping an eye out for Grace Consigay, the high velocity gals, believe unofficially our race leaders. We'll see if she's the first skier to come in, and if she's shooting from standing, we'll get confirmation on that. As there she is, Grace Consigay, now in the stadium and heading towards the range. Ben Cadu of the lads coming into the stadium wearing bib number 3. And Costingay moving to .17, unofficially our race leader on the women's side. And Elias Watson now heading for home. This is second place for the IBU men's group. Elias Watson of Team 1 coming to the finish line. Team 1, Sean Doherty leading off with Logan Solander and Watson closing things out as the anchor leg. And as Grace Constangay leaving the range with 1 miss, so having 1 penalty loop to do, but none of the other women teams in sight. As it looked, Team 45 now coming in over the in front of the timing building, and that's the mixed, I believe, one of the mixed teams of Nate Livingston, Jenna Stankin, and Quinn Michaud, the Maniacs. So Michaud now coming into the stadium. And Zoe May Noble, Team Guard Norway, wearing bib number 46, now in the stadium. And I believe this will be second place in the women's IBU women's category. Again, we have the first 2 teams in. It's taking the Men of America are the first in with Team 1. As Caleb Hunter, this is third place. Caleb Hunter coming in for the National Guard of his team of Eli Nielsen, Wyatt Stevenson, and Caleb Hunter across the line for Team National Guard. As Team 6 coming in, Paul Smith's College, Brady Miller, with a team of Aiden Rapp, Diego Shalachi, and Brady Miller, Team Paul Smith's College, bringing his race to a close. Unofficially 4th place, arms raised, and completed his weekend of racing here for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. And Zoe Noble goes clean for Team Guard Norway. Unofficially, that's second on the women's time, and having just shot from the standing position, 1 lap to go as she skis past the penalty loop, and 1.5 kilometers to go. As Sarah Bowler now coming in for the County Girls, bib 1. So Abigail Van Dorn on the range, wearing bib 8, Team 8, and known as Team 2. And we are looking at about 4 minutes to the start for the U17, 13, and 15 as we start lining up those athletes, those youth athletes. Bib 44 finishing. This is the Alaskans. It's Levis Watson coming in. And so Watson, that is our first mixed team across the way. The Alaskans of Maximin Germain, Ren Souley, and Watson. So that's our first mixed team across the line. Again, we're about 3 minutes to go on the posted time for the next start with the U17, 13, and 15 athletes, as we want to have those start bringing them into the start area and get them set to go. Another team across the line. The finishing up as we have the fight for third place to the last two women heading out of the stadium. So it is going to be tight there. It should be an exciting finish as it's coming down to the ski, as those two skiers having both completed their standing. So we're now keeping an eye out on that IBU women's side for our leaders. Again, it was the high velocity gals leading the way. And then looking at Guard Norway. And we are coming up on 1 minute to start. As we have a finisher here, bib number 10, and it's Grace Constangay coming through the championship for the high velocity girls on the women's side. And as she comes across the line, the youth skiers are getting their race instructions from the our race officials, where they'll get their official start. And the U13, 15, and 17 are underway. And we had Team 9 just finishing up. Gil Cavalieros of Team 3 as they have across the line. We've got, looking out, we now have the youth team underway, which looking at our start order, we are now a half hour from the master start going off at 11. Bib number 15 coming through. And that is Tilly Lang. Sorry, Busy Searles, bib number 153 coming in. And bib number 46, Zoe Mae Noble of Team Guard Norway. This is coming in for our second place on the women's side, the team of Deidre Irwin, Tuve Klett Andresen, and Noble coming in the silver medal for the relay on the women's side. And so we have two teams in. We did, last check, it was very close between the third and fourth teams out of the range. And we'll have to see whether the, I believe that was the county girls in amongst that group with Sarah Bowler, bib number wearing bib team 1. So we'll have to see how that all shook out on the last 1.5 kilometers in today's relay in that final anchor leg. So right now we're sort of closing things down on the IBU start, the first start that went off at 9:30. And we just sent off the U17, 13, and 15 athletes. And our third and fourth skiers are right behind each other over the top of David's Desire, with Sarah Bollier and Abigail Van Dorn. So Bollier with the clean air, so to speak, as they head off the top of David's Desire and make turn for home. as Ben Cadu of the lads, as well as team number 45 there coming in of mixed team with Quinn Michaud of the Maniacs. This is the women's fighting for third place. It's Bollier on the inside in the blue and pink, and it's Bollier by a toe over Van Dorn. So Bollier coming in for the their team there across the line for the County Girls. So the County Girls on the podium, and then Van Dorn closing things out for her team. As then we look back, we've got some more finishers to be had as bib number 47 is now coming through. So we have the U athletes now coming in. Bib number 42, Halvor Flatchet Rustbakken from Team Norse, the Norwegians in the range. And again, these athletes are be grabbing their rifles from the racks, taking them to the point, and then depositing them on the far rack. So that is our race leader heading in at point 4 for the youth relay. It's part of the Dev Boys. That's the Dev Boys leader at point 4. And some people just can't get enough racing. There's Ren Soule coming in, skiing both the first race and the second race. So wearing bib number 38. And we still have some finishers on the IBU side. It's bib number 14, Hazel Morton Lynch coming in. So the leader in the Dev Boys, that's Halvor Flatchet Rustbakken, just seating clean. I believe he had to potentially reload as he heads out. And now in second place is the other Norwegian team, it looks to be. Can't quite have that bit, but wearing the colors of Norway. And that is team 37. And so that's John Fascio shooting clean. So that's team 13. He's teamed up with Alden Reardon. So a little bit of the county mixing in with the Norwegians today and the Dev Boys side. But again, that is in second place currently behind Halvor Flatchet Rustbakken and Team Norway. Next time through, these skiers will be shooting again from the standing position. And then so a better idea again where everybody is within the sort of race within a race. As we've got three categories in the Dev side, where we've got the boys, the girls, and mixed teams. And at point one, we have the Screamin' Demons, Bridget Perry of Team 36. Teal Flint of the Minutemen coming in, tip number 35. And still lots of racing to be had here today at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. And as we all, building up a little bit of an appetite as we, it's only 10:30, but the Green Bean Snack Shack will be open in the parking lot for anybody looking for something to eat here, as they are open out in the parking lot. Also, get your Fort Kent Outdoor Center swag, some coffee mugs, T-shirts, jackets, some other items there to take home, some mementos, as well as I believe there's still some items left from the U.S. Biathlon team, where they have some of their team items for sale as well. As we recall, plenty of hats still to be had there, but then you still might find an item that in your size, and either some sweatshirts and tees, some leggings, and some other items, and support U.S. Biathlon and the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. The big thanks to everybody partaking in last night's silent auction banquet, raising funds to support the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. And a big thanks to Swix for providing so many great items, between some line jeans that John Farrar can't stop talking about, as well as a waxing table, wax iron, and none other than the ski gloves signed by Jesse Diggins, as well as a number of bibs signed by Deidre Irwin. So thanks to Swix and Deidre, as well as USBA and the U.S. Ski Team, for donating items in support of skiing here at Fort Kent and the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. Also, big thanks to the University of Maine Fort Kent for being our host last night for the banquet. Just a great gathering and a great facility they have here in Fort Kent, as well as the relationship they have with the Fort Kent Outdoor Center, having athletes living here full-time and training, and a number of them skiing in the first ever U.S. Biathlon Collegiate National Championships, where we awarded our national champions on Friday. Right now, we're in the middle of the youth and dev relays, both boys and girls. We're keeping our eye out for the leaders on the boys' side. And just getting word, just hitting the range with Halvor Fladsrud Rustbakken of Team Norse, wearing bib number 42, as he sets in at .18 on the range. That is the race leader in the Dev Boys category. And that's Rusbakken, our team leader, now heading to the penalty loop, dropping off his rifle at point 19. We're at from point 18. Point 19 is the second place team, and that's team 13, John Fascio of Norway, who'll be passing off to his teammate Alden Reardon next time he's through again. And now he is heading towards the penalty loop as well. Looks like he having 3 laps, as well as the athlete at point 20, point 21 was clean. So Grayson Milochik coming through, bracking his rifle. So as he heads out clean, he can see the green suit up ahead of him. That's Halver Flats Rusbakken. So Rusbakken, the race leader at the far end of the stadium, with a second place. Milochik behind him with that clean shooting. So about 5 seconds between those two athletes as they head out. Next time in, they'll be passing off to their respective teammates. Bib 31 heading out. That's John Flauschut. I believe that is 3rd position on the Dev boys side. Again, everything unofficial out here out of the announcing booth. Try to keep everything straight as best we can, but sometimes we'll miss an athlete or two. But as we look at most of the athletes here on the youth side now coming in and to the second bout, as a majority of them having come through already and shot prone. So Bib 39 coming in, that's Amelia Kidd of the Badgers, just in front of the time heading into the stadium, into the range. Bib 30 now just heading into the range right in front of the timing building. That's Saku Kerr from Team Hamburger Helper. And some great names here on the dev side. I think our IBU friends could take some notes from the creativity from these young athletes. As Bib 36, the Screamin' Demons, Bridget Perry, coming in as well. And I think we may have the leaders on the girls' side. It's hard to tell if they're the girls' side or one of the mixed teams. Unable to see bids at the far end of the range at points 24 and 25. And our race leaders into the tag zone. And that's Halvor Flatsuk Rustbakken handing off to Larissa who's Osland. As we wait for the next team to come through, and at bib 31, it was Gray Milosic having shot clean and made up a lot of time on the rest of the field, leapfrogging, I believe, the third and fourth team from fourth position into second. He'll be passing off to Jack Cashman of Team Hostile Toast. And bib 37 now coming in. This is John Falshode coming in. They were in second for the majority of the race until the last shooting bout. So this is third place on the Dev boys here, as Falshode will be handing off to Alden Reardon. We're in bib number 37, and this is team 13. And team 33, Island Pride, Hudson Haltley coming in. So Haltley, this is our unofficially our leaders in the mixed category. Haltley passing off to Paige Neclia, again, Team Island Pride. So Paige now heading out on course. These skiers, each skier doing total of 4.5 kilometers, 3 times around this 1.5 kilometer loop. And it is 10:50, so it puts us at 10 minutes away from the final start of the weekend, the Masters Relay. So if those Masters athletes that haven't done so, please make their way into the start area and start beginning at chipping so we can get you all lined up for the 11 o'clock start for the Masters racers. Again, 10 minutes to start for the Masters. And again, if you could please make your way to being chipped, so we can get you all lined up and underway in a orderly and timely manner. But right now we have our Dev boys, girls, and mixed teams out on course. Potentially a couple of the IBU teams still left out on the race course as well as they're completing their races. As we bib number 43 coming, team 43 coming into the stadium. And this is the women's leader. This is Nora Mohagen, Team Norse Girls. So this is the youth girls leader. Mohagen be handing off to her teammate, Enen Hagen Tver Beckmo. And we have the race leaders on the boys' side. Loris Huth Osland, Team Norse, wearing bib number 42, out in front, right in front of the timing building currently as he heads into the range for his first bout of shooting. And Jack Cashman of Team Hostile Toast coming in wearing bib number 31, now right in front of the timing buildings. He heads into the range. So the first two teams on the Dev Boys category are in the stadium. And Alden Reardon of Team 3 as our third place, Team 13. He's teaming up with one of our friends from Norway, John Fashod. So the 1, 2, and 3, those three teams are all in the range. As the race leader, Huth Osland is Team 42 at .3 on the range. So Osland is clean. Huth Osland is clean with 2 reloads as he racks his rifle and heads out. Where we have Jack Cashman of Hostile Toast at .4. And at .5, Reardon is clear at .5. So he is currently, that is second place in the youth boys race. And now Cashman heading out with one penalty lap. As again, we need the Masters racers. Please make their way to start. We are now 5 minutes. We're under 5 minutes, 4 minutes on the official clock to that start. So we need those Masters racers. Please make their way into the start area. We can line you up for the relay start. And the Norse girls coming in. Sverk Beckmo and in Hagen Sverk Beckmo of Norway, BIP Team 4 in the stadium. And so those are that is our race leader on the Dev girls side. And looking out on the stadium, we're lining up the master skiers. They're getting all their race instructions from our race officials and lining them up in the start. We've got about a dozen teams in this relay. The Masters having teams of 3, whereas our youth skiers on course with just 2. And we are coming up on about 2 minutes unofficially getting their race instructions. We'll leave everything to our starters as we get set for the final race of the weekend with the Masters Relay. And the Norse girls exiting the range with 1 penalty loop. We still have our masters on the start, getting their official instructions from our race officials as they get set to go our final start of the weekend for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. As we look at, we have the leader in the youth men coming through. Bib 42 right out in front. That's Loris Huth Osland, who'll be coming in and shooting from the standing. And we are underway. The final start of the weekend is the Masters Relay, as about a dozen or so teams head out on course. Again, these skiers skiing the same 1.5 kilometer loop as the other racers and the shortened penalty loop. As we look out at the state and the range, we've got our first 2 teams on the youth men's at points 19 and 20. And the leaders now leading, that's the, of course, the team Norway, the Norse, with Huth Osland now heading for 1 penalty loop. Where Alden Reardon at point 20 and the Cashman at point 21. That's 1, 2, 3, as Reardon will be heading out for 2 penalty loops, as it kind of, with the team Norse only having 1 miss, as Cashman lines up at point 21. So Reardon heading in for his 2nd penalty loop as he makes his way around with that quick marathon step skate and turning left like at Talladega, and he is out on course and seeing if he can hunt down the race leader. That's Huth Osland. And Cashman now clean. So Cashman, I don't know if anybody saw what he was shooting, but essentially an avalanche of snow fell in front of his target that he was while shooting. So he definitely had, I believe, had a couple of reloads, but he is now racking and he is underway and currently in 3rd position, seeing if he can hunt down Alden Reardon. And then a little further up the road is race leader from Team Norse with Loris Huth Osland as one of our Norwegian guests. So those are our top 3 boys, as we wait for our race leaders on the girls' side to come in. And it was the Norse women, the Norse girls rather, who were leading the way after that first loop. As Team 41, a mixed group of Levin Brenner and Zach Skopinich-Bergel. as Eninhagen Svertmikko comes through. The Norse girls, and that is the leader on the Dev girls side. And our Masters racers now making their way into the stadium. And we have racers coming to the line right as bib number 43 across. As we have Lorhuth Osland and bib 37 Alden Reardon. So those two skiers across the line and very tight at the finish for our the youth boys, the Dev boys. That's 1-2. So we'll be looking for the next group to come in, as we also have a number of the master skiers now coming in through the range, again, for their first bout. Again, shooting from the prone the first time. Second time through, they'll be shooting from the standing position. As we have another finisher coming to the line. Bib 31 just finishing. And that is Jack Cashman from Team Hostile Toast. Next, we look out bib 29, Declan Hultley. Now in the stadium from Team Blabatupaduban. Thanks so much for one that's very easy to pronounce. As a team, I think that was designed just for me as the announcer. Team Blabatuban, and coming through, and keeping our eye out now for the leading girls on the Dev girls side. Last time through, it was the Norse girls. We're looking for Team 43 with Aninhagen Teverbekmo is the anchor on that team. So keep an eye out for them next time through. They'll be headed towards the finish line. Bib 36 heading to the line. That's Jared Wilson of the Screamin' Demons in the stadium, as we've got 3 skiers now coming in for another bout of shooting. And we've got a finisher coming in, bib number 41, Zach Skopanich-Burgle. I believe this is our first unofficially the winners on the Dev Mix side for the Big Beautiful Boys. With Levin Brenner and Zach Skopanich-Burgle making up that squad. So currently we have the U13, 15, and Dev skiers on course, along with the Masters. As the midget squad, Lance Smith, bib number 34, heading for home and completing his race for the day and weekend as we bring things to a close here for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. And we have a finisher just through. That is Aninhagen Permekbo of the Norse girls, taking the win in the Dev girls division. And we look to have our first Masters potentially in shooting from the standing position. And headed towards the line, bib number 40 from the Snowmies, Duncan Van Dorn. Put in that telly landing. I like that. Being a former ski jumper, that's some good. Maybe you have Nordic combined in your future. As we have another finisher, bib number 48. Bib 29 coming to the line. Let's give it up for Declan Haltley of Blabatubin finishing up. I believe that was team 39 as well, just behind him. Chloe Kohler of the Badgers. Finishing up here, Julian LaFontaine of Hamburger Helper, one of the Dev boys team, teaming up with Saku Kerr. Bib 36 finishing up here, Jared Wilson of the Screamin' Demons, one of the mixed teams. Jared teaming up with Bridget Perry this morning for the relay as we are close, sort of rolling towards the end of the weekend here at Fort Kent for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. 3 great days of racing. As bib number 39, as we look out, this is Coley Kohler, my mistake, of the Badgers coming in, teaming up with Amelia Kidd, as the Badgers bringing their race to a close. Again, finishing things up. We will be having awards presentation. We'll give you updates on when that is, but we'll be doing that a little later this morning, as we finishing up the results and getting those all finalized from the IBU events, as we are now finishing things up on the youth group. And we still have the master skiers out on course. My apologies to the masters. Just so much going on between the youth and the IBU racers that we'll try to do our best as the next time through, when they come in through on the range, we'll get a better idea at the standing position and at the relays, as we're now having some athletes who will be handing off to their teammates. As we got team 20, speaking of that, team 27 now coming through the stadium, and team 27, that is team NYVT VT, Sean Halligan coming in, passing off to Peter Weil, as that's team 72 just coming through the stadium and heading out. So Weil will be bypassing the range as he heads out for his first lap. And I believe that might be the first team through. I apologize if we may have missed the one or two others, but essentially Weil, that looks like the race leader on the Masters side as he heads out on course. Team 33 coming to the finish line, Paige Neclia teaming up with Hudson Haltley, Team Island Pride, as they bring their weekend to a close. And it looks like we have another one of the relay teams going out for their first, after the second tag. And that is Hillary Becker in the Masters side. Becker skiing with Team M&M, teaming up with Jim Becker and S.J. Shepard. And Team 35 now coming to the finish line. Leif Helstedt of the Minutemen. Team with Teal Flint. And we have another finisher, team number 32. That is the Hot Pink Pickles, Iris Lamp and Annika Doty making up that team. As Iris coming to the finish line for Team Hot Pink Pickles. And Bib 27, Team 27 of NYVTVT, Peter Weil coming into the stadium. I believe this is our race leader on the in the Masters side. Weil teaming up with Sean Halligan and Hugh Pritchard. As he skis down to the far end of the range. So that's Weil at .3. And Weil is clear at one reload as he'll be heading out, bypassing the penalty loop and heading out as no one in sight yet on the range. at least at any of the points yet, as we wait for the second place team to make their way to one of the points, and we get set as we have the Masters racing going on currently. We may have one or two youth racers still out on course. As Team 22 moves into at point 3 on the Masters, that's Wayne Peterson from Eli Walker of Team JXB. So that is the second place for the Masters division. All right, we'll be getting underway with the awards presentation for the IBU men and women. And so we're going to start that in about a minute from now at 11:30. At 11:30, as we'll be recognizing the IBU men and women top 3 teams. Announcing 2 awards, we set to go.
Super Matt to Matt.
Alrighty, we are now set to go to present the IBU awards. We are going to start with the IBU men, then we'll present to the IBU women, and then the mixed teams. In the IBU men's category, in the team relay for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon Championships, in third place, Paul Smith's College, Aiden Ripp, Diego Shalaki, and Brady Miller. In second place, Team 1, Sean Doherty, Logan Solander, and Elias Watson. And our champions in the Team Relay IBU men's category, Team America, Vashek Cervenka, Tristan Thrasher, and Thor Shepard. And congratulations to our IBU men relay team champions. Medals and whoopie pies all around. And now we'll move on to the IBU women's category. In third place in the team relay, it is the County Girls, Sarah Bowler, Dulcie Tangway, and Rowan Tangway. In second place, it is Team Gard Norway, Deidre Irwin, Tuva Klett Andresen, and Zoe May Noble. And today's champions in the relay in the IBU women's category, it is Team High Velocity Gals, Virginia Cobb, Hannah Chipman, and Grace Castingay. Congratulations to our top three teams and to all our competitors in the women's relay. We'll now move into the IBU mixed category. Our top three for the team relay, this for the mixed in the 2024 U.S. Biathlon Championships. In third place, the Maniacs, Nate Livingood, Jenna Stankin, and Quinn Michaud. In second place, it is Team 5, Bjorn Westervelt, Adele Pritchard, and Liam Weil. And today's champions in the IBU mixed category, it is the Alaskans, Maximum Germain, Ren Souley, and Livis Watson. Congratulations to the mixed team champions and all the racers in the IBU category. And a big thanks to you all for coming and joining us in Fort Kent for this weekend of racing in the National Championships for U.S. Biathlon. So that completes the awards presentation. And we'll be having awards presentations for the other categories, the youth and the masters, later in the morning, as we still have the masters racing going on out on course as we speak. And we'll get you back to action there, as well as bring up an update as when we might move into having the other awards for the other categories. Anyway, for right now, it is the Masters are out on course as we continue to finish our final day of racing here at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. And looking out, it's a Hugh Pritchard of Team 27 of Team New York, Vermont. And I believe this is, as he comes in and heading to shoot from the prone position. And I believe they were the race leader before we broke things up for awards presentations and so forth. He is now at position 3, so that is unofficial. But I believe he is our race leader, 27. Team 27. And he's the third leg of that team. And we have our race leaders again on the master side, I believe, here as Hugh Pritchard, 27, coming in, second time shooting. He'll be heading in and shooting from the standing position. As Pritchard moves into .18 on the range. And Pritchard leaves the point with 2 misses, so a couple of penalty laps for him. As don't see any other of the teams in sight yet to shoot in that standing position, as with some more handoffs as athletes going off for the final leg for their teams, as well as some athletes come in to shoot prone. And we have our Masters coming to the line. Hugh Pritchard, bib Team 27, Team New York, Vermont, NYVT, VT, across the line. And so that our first team in from the Masters side. As they continue to roll on, we'll be having the awards presentation for the Dev boys, girls, and mixed teams momentarily. As the teams continue to take photos at the podium as we get set to award our top 3 teams in each of those categories for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. And we've got a finisher coming in the Masters men's Team 22, Team JXB, Scott Bitorne across the line. As that is second place finishers in the Masters category. As we're getting set to present the presentations for the youth, or sorry, our Dev group. And we are ready to go. We're going to go boys first, and then we'll follow by the girls, and then we will do the mixed. And we are set to begin and award our top 3 in the Dev Boys Relay for today's 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. Please understand that these results are provisional. The official results will be posted. Plenty of time for all our rides home to check those results, but we want to get everybody on the road sooner than later if all possible. So starting with the Dev Boys category. In third place, it's the Snowmies, River Gravy, and Duncan Van Dorn. Again, looking for those top 2, River Gray and Duncan Van Dorn, the top 2 in the Dev Boys, in third place for the Snowmies. In second place in the Dev Boys category, it is Hostile Toast, Gray Melishik and Jack Cashman. And the Dev Boys champions today, Team 13, John Fischelt and Alden Reardon. A great Norwegian Fort Kent combo with a mix of our hosts and our guests. Congratulations to the top 3 teams in the Dev Boys relay. We'll now move into the Dev Girls category. And our top 3 for today's Dev Girls relay. In third place, it goes to the Hot Pink Pickles, Annika Doty and Iris Lamp. In second place is the Badgers, Amelia Kidd and Chloe Kohler. And today's champions in the Dev Girls category, from Norway, it is the Norse girls, Nora Mo Hagen and Ain Hagen Tevermekbo. And congratulations to the Dev Girls champions. We'll now move into the Dev Mix category in the awarding the top 3. In third place, Team 14, Jonathan Derry and his teammate Ren Soleil. So it looks like Team 13 may have hit the road already. Team 14 of Jonathan Dory and Ren Soleil. In second place, it goes to Team Blababatubin of Claire Engen and Declan Hutley. All right. With that, we'll move on to the champions in the Dev Mix category, and that is the big, beautiful boys of Levin Brenner and Zach Skopanich-Burgle. The mass team, EMXC Skiers and Harvard Sporting Club. As so congratulations to that mixed team. I don't know if I believe we saw Claire Engen and Declan Houtley around in there. They're the second place team. So much fun I get to say this name again, Blabatubin. So congratulations to all of our Dev athletes as they bring their 2024 Biathlon National Championships to a close. We still have some master skiers out on course as we roll through and finish things up here at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center. 3 days of fantastic skiing here and great weather here today to finish up. A great day for racing and hopefully some beautiful roads for the ride home as we continue to finish things up here for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. And we have a finisher on the master side, S.J. Shepard, Team M&M. Shepard skiing, teaming up with Hillary Becker and Jim Becker. And another finisher coming to the line, Paul Sharon, bib number 28, Team 24. Teaming with John Whitmer and Brian Dooley. So a big weekend of racing here in Fort Kent, and a big shout out to all our friends in those red vests for everything they've done to make this weekend possible. A huge core of volunteers they have here at Fort Kent, and thank you for all you do to keep these races running and your support of Nordic and biathlon here in Fort Kent. I'm Mike Collins. Been a great weekend joining you, and thanks for having me up in the county. It's always glad to be up here. It's just a fantastic spot, and what a great spirit here in Fort Kent, and supporting of racing here and biathlon as Fort Kent brings another weekend of championship racing to a close as the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships just finishing up here as we have our Masters racers still out on course. We've completed the awards presentations for both the UBI and the Dev groups, and what a fantastic racing weekend they had. Thanks for them all coming up. I know a lot of them have now since headed out on the road, but it's super having such a great field here this weekend. As we have a couple racers coming through to we have one racers, bib number 19, it looks like, team 19, and that would be Tom McNeil coming in, the Grease Lightning, and team 24 as well in this group. And unfortunately, I do not have an update on their bibs. As Dvorak coming to, it looks like, finishing to the line. Pavel, bib 14, team EABC. And as our master skiers are in, a few of them, we still have a few more teams still left to come. As again, that last finish team from the Ethan Allen Biathlon Club, Pavel Dvorak with Brad Ketterling and Christine Dillon. BIP Team 20, the NB Lobsters. Jim Ketterling finishing up, teaming up with Kerry Underhill and Gil Harmon today, or Harmon Gill rather, as the New Brunswick Lobsters bringing their Masters relay to a close. And speaking of close, the range has been closed, which means we've cleared all athletes, and everybody is on their final lap here for the Masters relay at the Lasters. So every time a skier comes in, they should be headed for home and to the finish line as we wrap things up for 3 days of spectacular racing here at the Fort Kent Outdoor Center for the U.S. Biathlon National Championships. As we have bib 26 coming to the line, bib 26, Jenny Berterne, bib number 20. Oh, sorry, this would be Steven Zimmerman of Team 23, as he teamed up with Jenny and Kirk Seigel today. And Kirk Siegel, those teams. Masters team coming to a close, Team 26. And Zimmerman is across the line. Again, we are on the final lap, so just our teams now cleaning up the range. As just another great weekend of racing, and spring, the winter has been extended in the North Country with Mother Nature dropping almost 2 feet over the weekend here. But what a great job the team has done clearing the snow and getting the trails prepared for the racing for these national championships. And let's give it up for Lizzie Austin, Team 22, with Philip Fritz and Rick McGuire. And Austin across the line, finishing up her weekend of racing. As I believe we look out at the course. I'm not sure if she is the final team across the line or not. We'll get confirmation of that. But I believe we might have a couple more teams still out on course. As our master skiers having gone off at 11 o'clock, an hour and a half ago, skiing just over 14 kilometers, 3 times around this 2.5 kilometer course 3 times each. And so the racers as a team, again, skiing those 14.5 kilometers. As again, the range being cleaned up here as we wrap things up for the weekend of racing here at Fort Kent for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap as we concluded racing for the weekend. As our final Masters teams are in, we'll be taking care of all the computations. They'll be having a award ceremony shortly as we recognizing those top 3 Masters teams. So we'll let you know about when that is going to take place. As again, finally, a great thanks to the team here and everything they've done, putting together this great getting the conditions with the challenges of the snow last night, the wind on Friday, and anyway, and again the snow yesterday as that started to come in the late afternoon. So as we get things, we'll get back at you with awards momentarily. Again, I'm Mike Collin. It's been a pleasure to be with you all weekend. Calling here Biathlon, and as we salute some of the top biathletes in the country and our national champions all weekend for the 2024 U.S. Biathlon National Championships.